This video is brought to you by Nebula. Last week, Elon Musk said on X that rumours about his looming departure from the Trump administration were fake news. It came in response to a Politico article suggesting that, according to 3 anonymous Trump insiders, Trump and Musk had decided that Musk will soon return to his businesses and take on a supporting role. This itself followed the defeat of a Musk-backed candidate, Brad Schimmel, in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election to Democratic candidate Susan Crawford, despite Musk having poured around $20 million into Schimmel's campaign. Then, last Thursday, Trump confusingly told reporters that Musk could stay as long as he likes, but also suggested he had a time limit of a few months. So in this video, we'll take a look at the Musk-Trump partnership, Musk's role in the US government so far, and whether this is the beginning of the end for Elon Musk. Who's the most influential person in the world? Well, we asked the TLDR team and audience to rank a bunch of powerful people, and we have the results. Find out the full list in the next copy of our magazine, Too Long. Pre-order a copy by clicking the link in the description. Right now, it's hard to remember a time in US politics before Musk, but we do have to remember that the Musk-Trump partnership really is very recent. Musk, a former Democrat voter and the world's richest person, only endorsed Trump for president in July after the assassination attempt, and over the following months became increasingly active in Trump's campaign. Musk regularly appeared with Trump at rallies, including this one in Pennsylvania, where he leapt around excitedly on stage. Musk and Trump were frequently pictured hugging, shaking hands, and exchanging warm glances during the campaign, showing their apparent closeness. By the US election in November, Musk had donated at least $250 million to Trump's campaign through his America PAC, which Musk founded in mid-2024, and the pro-Trump RBG PAC. This made Musk by far the biggest donor of the election cycle, and made the 2024 presidential campaign the most expensive US general election in history. Soon after Trump's victory, commentators started wondering how long the Musk-Trump partnership would last, not least because the media had nicknamed Musk Trump's co-president, and it's pretty clear Trump doesn't like other people stealing his limelight. But despite the speculation, after Trump's inauguration in January, Musk was made a special government employee, i.e. an unpaid advisor to the president, and tasked with unofficially running Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, which he's pretty much been doing for the past few months. Trump and Musk have seemed pretty much best buds ever since, with Trump even using the White House as a Tesla showroom. Now, this brings us to Wisconsin. Early last week, Wisconsin held an election for a vacant seat on its Supreme Court, which was widely viewed as a referendum on the Musk-Trump administration. Before the election, Musk claimed that the race could determine the future of America and Western civilization, and threw his support behind the Republican candidate Brad Schimmel. Controversially, Musk redeployed tactics he used during Trump's presidential campaign, including handing out $1 million checks to 2 voters and offering payments of between $20 and $100 to Wisconsinites who signed an America PAC petition opposing, quote, activist judges. Whether this apparent bribery was even legal is another question, and it later transpired that America PAC had scrubbed a video on its website of one of the 2 people Musk had given $1 million check to, removing the word vote from her original sentence. I did exactly what Musk told everyone to do, and signed the petition, refer friends and family, vote, and now I have $1 million. Under Wisconsin's election bribery laws, it's not only illegal to pay someone to vote for a particular candidate, but it's also a felony to pay someone to vote at all. Anyway, the campaign became the most expensive judicial race in US history, with millionaire backers sponsoring both candidates. While Musk had put around $20 million into backing Schimmel, liberal philanthropist George Soros donated $2 million to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, who passed it on to Crawford's campaign. But Musk's backing wasn't enough, and with turnout reportedly the highest ever for a Wisconsin Supreme Court election, Crawford won a 10-year term, with 55% of the vote. This loss appears to be the catalyst for the recent discussion about Musk's political future. After the results, analysis by the Financial Times showed that every single county in Wisconsin recorded swings towards the Democrats since the US presidential election. Reacting to the loss, Musk posted on X, the long con of the left is corruption of the judiciary. While Crawford said in her victory speech, Wisconsin stood up and said loudly that justice does not have a price. Our courts are not for sale. Almost immediately after, there were reports that Trump had recently told his cabinet that Musk would be leaving in the coming weeks, and Trump's former chief strategist Steve Bannon told the FT that the result was a quote wake-up call, adding Elon was in every ad. This appears consistent with the original 130-day expiry date for Musk's role as a special government employee, i.e. he would likely have finished at DOGE in late May or early June anyway. But cracks in the Musk-Trump relationship were starting to show. In March, Trump posted on Truth Social urging DOGE to use a metaphorical scalpel, not a hatchet, and told reporters at the White House, "I don't want to see a big cut where lots of good people are cut." And then, last weekend, Musk pushed back at the tariffs, telling Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini he hoped for a US-EU free trade zone. Moreover, as this NBC News poll from early March appears to suggest, Musk himself is arguably the reason for DOGE's unpopularity. While 46% of the US population think DOGE is a good idea in principle, compared to 40% who think it's a bad idea, this flips when people are asked whether they have positive or negative views of DOGE's efforts. 41% see them positively, while 47% see them negatively. Similarly, only 39% of Americans have positive views of Musk, while a narrow majority, 51%, have negative views. A more recent Reuters Ipsos poll conducted in early April found that Musk's ratings have since fallen further, with 39% of Americans seeing him favourably and 59% seeing him unfavourably. Musk may have also bitten off more than he can chew. Initially, he aimed to cut a huge $2 trillion off the US's nearly $7 trillion budget, but he then quickly acknowledged this was overly ambitious. Moreover, as we cover in our brand new Too Long magazine, DOGE has been criticised for the inaccuracy of its listed savings, with the department in its first weeks recording duplicate entries, and now looks unlikely to make a significant dent in the US's growing debt pile before the agency is due to be disbanded in July 2026, which makes Musk less useful from Trump's perspective. So we'll have to see what happens next. For Trump, keeping Musk around is ultimately a judgment on the appeal of money. Would the Republicans lose more elections without Musk's enormous wealth? Or will they lose more, like Wisconsin, because of it? This story, like much of the news, is worth paying attention to in the weeks ahead. Because with geopolitics in flux and Trump throwing the international order up in the air, there's a lot to keep an eye on. Every day we're faced with weird headlines, from Musk declaring anyone who looks at him the wrong way a terrorist, to Trump declaring war on Jupiter to try to regain some extraterrestrial allies. Okay, that one isn't real, but we do dive into the weird world of US politics in our series WTF USA. That's our show where we take big moments from culture and social media and try to explain the political implications of, say, Musk running around trying to put out Tesla fires. Unlike some of our other serious videos, the tone of WTF is more light-hearted and takes something of an irreverent look at what's going on. If you're interested, WTF USA can be found exclusively on Nebula. Nebula is also the home to other incredible original content from your favourite creators, like Tom Nicholas's Boomers. Discussing everything from generational inequality, housing, the climate crisis and pensions, the globe-trotting feature-length documentary tries to unpack the questionable legacy of the baby boomers. If you didn't know, Nebula is an independent, creator-owned streaming platform that specialises in thoughtful content, from creators like Real Life Law, Wendover Productions, Legal Eagle, and Neo. It's not just WTF USA either. You can also watch every normal TLDR video on Nebula ad-free, and in some instances before they even land on YouTube. If you're not a member already, click our link in the description to get 40% off. That's just $36 a year or $3 a month. So take the news a little less seriously and check out WTF only on Nebula.